And welcome back. My name is Jennifer Long from Be So Inspired, and I am here today to teach you how to make a very simple and easy doll sleeping bag. So you can make this for any size doll. Your kids can make this with you. If your grandkids can make this with you, if they're there for the weekend, all you need is 2 fat quarters of cotton. You need fusible fleece or batting and a little bit of extra cotton for the binding. Sewing machine, and here we go. So come and join me and let's make this doll sleeping bag together. Right, so here we are. So first of all, I'm just going to talk you through what I did. I took 2 pieces of cotton and I made sure that they were long enough for my doll. So this is my doll, and I wanted to make sure that the whole doll could fit inside the sleeping bag. So even when he's inside, that it could open up and that he was nice and covered in there. Good. So I made sure that my 2 squares of fabric, I took one on this side and one on this side. I fused some Thermoweb fusible fleece on there, and then I did a lovely quilting pattern on it. Raw edges, trimmed it up so it was nice and square. Once you have that done, so you can piece this however you want, I just used 2 opposing fabrics. I made some 2 1/4 inch binding, so it's just a piece of 2 1/4 inch fabric folded and ironed in half, and with a raw edge here I just sewed the binding around the edge from where I want the opening to be. So I took it down a little bit further than I'm going to want this opening. So you can see I want this opening to be about over here, and I took my binding down a little bit past that. Now, that's pretty simple. Let's get a little bit more involved. You're going to fold the sleeping bag in half, and you can even pin it so it's nice and square and lined up. So I'll pin one there and one there. Again, this is simple, something you can do with the children in your life, or you can whip up some for all the animals and all the friends and snugglies that your children and dolls that they're taking camping. Then I take my binding, so I have a little bit of binding left. Again, it's 2 1/4 inches folded in half. On this end, I've folded it inside so that it's a finished edge, and I'm going to bind around the front starting here. So I'm going to overlap. I've pinned it where I want it to open, and I'm going to just start it a little bit further than that. So I'm going to keep that pin in there because I'm going to sew my binding in here, and I will go all the way along, and I'm going to sew the width of my presser foot, of my standard presser foot, all the way along. We'll do a picot edge border here, so I'm going to sew right to about my 1/4 inch seam, then I'll fold it back and come back again. And I will, I'm just going to pretend that I'm sewing that for you here right now, and I'm going to keep sewing all the way along here. This little end, to make it finish nicely, I'll show you a little trick. So when we get to this edge, when you're about over here on the edge, we're going to go over another about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Just like that. And you're going to continue to sew till I get to about that pink pin. And then I'm going to make sure it's pulled nice and tight so there's no gaping edge, and I'm going to wrap it around here and then pin it back again there. And I will sew my binding just off the edge. So I'm going to sew along this right off the edge. I'm even going to go back and forth a little bit there. Once that is sewn and I pull this over, it's going to have this wonderful flat, great edge to turn over for binding. And it's going to look like this. So as you can see here, it's a nice, beautiful flat edge on the bottom corner, and this is opened here at the top, and it's a simple sleeping bag. That's how easy it is to make a simple doll sleeping bag for your doll. Good. I hope you've enjoyed this video. My name is Jennifer Long again from Be So Inspired. I like to pop on here often to give you tips and tricks on how to make easy, usable items that you can use with your children for fun. You can sew with them and you can embellish and take your dolls to the next level. So if you like this video, I'd love to if you give a thumbs up and if you'd subscribe. It's free and the videos will be linked right away. Have a great day.